All right, let's talk about being able to find meaning and purpose in our lives, man. This is something I want to talk about. I want to explore this with you guys. I want to know how much purpose you feel like you have on a day-to-day basis. When you wake up, do you feel excited? Do you feel ready to go? All that stuff. Or do you feel lazy? Do you feel like you don't want to get out of bed? I've been in both these spots. And I just kind of want to explore this with you guys to see how much we all feel that we can find this purpose in our lives, how much purpose we actually have in our lives. Because a lot of people, right now, I feel like I talk to some people and sometimes it feels like they might not have as much purpose in their life. They might feel like they might not have as much purpose in their life. And I've been in a place where I have had been walking around and I've been kind of aimless. I didn't know exactly where I was going. I didn't know my exact direction. And sometimes I think we don't really know for sure if we can find that. We don't know for sure if we're going to ever find this meaning and this purpose. And I know that my life, when I was walking around like that, it was just this place where you could get annoyed easily. Sometimes you could just feel a little bit upset. Sometimes you would get pulled into kind of conflicts, whether it was at work, whether it was anything like that. But when you start walking with purpose and you start having that purpose, all of a sudden you feel like you are tunnel visioning into this purpose because you know this is where you got to go. This is what you're trying to get to. You're trying to go higher, higher, higher. You're growing, growing, growing. All this stuff just starts to fade away. So have you guys felt that? Like where you are just starting to get into this purpose? If you haven't, let's talk a little bit about this to see what we can get to with this, what we can explore with this. Because I remember I used to work at Walmart. I would work at Walmart and I would do these things there. My bad, just had to check the audio. But I would do these things there where a lot of this stuff was just pointless, man. A lot of this stuff just felt pointless. So I would be an OGP, which was basically you take out groceries to people out there. But sometimes they would pull me and I would have to go push carts. I would have to do stocking where you have to just move the stuff up to the front of the shelves. And a lot of times that felt really pointless. That felt really damn boring. I hated it. I didn't enjoy doing it. And you just have to do that there for hours on end, over and over and over again. And when I was doing that, I literally felt like, oh my gosh, there has to be more to this. There's no way this is the end. There's no way that this is it. This is just so boring. This is just I don't like it, man. And maybe that wasn't the right way to look at it at the time, but that's just how I was feeling. And I'm sure a lot of you guys feel like that too at work. And because of this, a lot of times people are going to try to annoy you. People are going to try to push you back and forth. And all of a sudden you're going to feel this little annoyance starts to get into a little bigger thing than it should be. Stuff like that. But here's the thing. Once I started to find purpose, growth at that time when I was at Walmart, which for me was growing in terms of a person. I started reading personal development books. I started trying to find that purpose. I started, my purpose became trying to find my purpose. I was reading books about connection, reading books about communication, reading books about all this stuff, applying it there, applying it in my life, trying to find this stuff. Reading Think and Grow Rich. That's when I first started reading that book. And one of the things I would do is I would put in a little AirPod and I would start doing the stocking. I would start moving the stuff forward. And you know what? I started looking forward to it. I started looking forward to it because I knew I would be able to go over there and actually learn, actually improve, have purpose with it. When they would tell me to go outside and push the carts, I still hated it, but at least I was actually learning something and actually getting to grow in those moments. So once I found that purpose of okay, I know where I'm starting to go, all of a sudden I started walking around differently there. I started walking around with this purpose, this feeling I know where I'm going. I'm going somewhere. I don't know for sure where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. I'm improving. I'm getting better. So these little annoyances, I remember this one time somebody had done something there and everybody was pissed at this person for doing that. They were pissed at this girl for I forgot what she did bad. She forgot to do something. And I was one of the people that saw her do it. And I guess the manager came over and they were asking me hey, what happened? And I was like, I don't know. It's not that important. I'm not going to rat on this person. And the people there started asking me okay, why didn't you tell them? Why didn't you tell them what she did? For me, it just felt like it wasn't that personally important to rat somebody out and just push it out, whether that's right or wrong. But it felt there was bigger things going on than to fall into these petty dramas at work, fall into these petty gossip at work, all this stuff, man. And I just feel bad, sometimes we could just fall into that. Sometimes we could fall into that and we don't realize that we got to get out of that. The only way to get out of that is to have a higher purpose so that all of this stuff starts being kind of meaningless to us. And I just don't want us to start to fall into that, continue to go into this petty gossip. And all of a sudden our time gets eaten up by that. And I've seen how people in my life can take it home. They take it home and that's all they're going to talk about in their lives, man. They start talking about this stuff that happened at work, the things that pissed them off at work, the people that pissed them off at work, man. And it's kind of like, I want more for you, you know? It's not from a place like, oh, I'm going to judge you for that. But it's from a place of, I know I've been in that spot, but I want more for you. And I know you have potential. And for you guys too, if you're feeling that right now, I know that you guys got more. I know that you guys got this passion, this love, this energy, this creativity. And if you can focus on that, getting that out into the world, then you don't have to focus on getting the rest of it and focusing on these little petty minor distractions in the world, my bad. But yeah, I just want to talk about this with you guys. I think this is super interesting. Trying to find purpose. Let me know how you feel, how much you feel you've actually found your purpose, how close and connected you are, and how are you living it every single day, man. Every single day. I'm not talking about like on the weekends you do it, anything like that. How are you living it every single day? I love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Hope whatever you're doing is purposeful today. Peace.